Hey everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Are you?
Thanks for watching.
Yay, we're gonna embark on a new topic. Although everything is related in this category of, energy and body, mind, spirit that we have been focusing on. But today we thought it'd be good to spend a little bit of time specific to talking about the body and physiologically the body. So one of the things that I heard once is that the mind's first step to self-awareness must be through the body. And so we're going to spend some time today really getting to be friends with our body and paying attention to some of the things that our body can tell us and actions that we can take. So remember this, Adina?
Yeah, the energy system, it's one directly affects the other. And in our talkings, we can't really create separation between these three things. They all encompass each other. One affects the other at all times, body, mind, and spirit. So what we're doing in maybe a spiritual realm or a spiritual practice, it's affecting the body and the mind. What we're doing physically affects the mind and the spirit, and what we're doing mentally is affecting the spirit and the body. So it's just a really great way to understand that anything and everything that we're doing directly affects the other.
Great, excellent thing to remember. And that also these systems, I'm calling them energy systems, because each one of these sort of areas, while they're not separate, they each do individually and collectively affect our energy. So let's move into this topic that everybody loves talking about, which is stress. Can you relate to any of these things? Stress gets a bad rap sometimes because, there's an idea, I guess, maybe collectively, that stress is bad for you. And it can be, but stress can also be good for you. What it's a matter of how much and how long you stay at certain levels of stress, right? Because sometimes what we call stress or adrenaline flow, you need, right? You hear these stories about people who witness an accident a car accident, and some guy gets out of his car and walks over and literally picks a car up by himself to get a body out of the car. Like, that's a good thing. So there are times when stress is necessary. There's times when the hormones that are released during stress can give us a boost and can give us some drive to do the things that we need to do. But again, what we need to do is pay attention to when we're feeling symptoms of stress and how long we stay in a higher level of stress so that we can begin to balance it out. I'm going to wrap just a few statistics that I grabbed from a website called Global Organization for Stress. And it's a little mind-blowing to me because a lot of people also that say or think that they're not stressed. Because we're so used to being stressed, we don't even know we are stressed. It's become a way of life. It's become a way of living, right? This feeling of got to get it done, got to move, got to constantly do something, pick something up, do something, blah, blah, blah. That, my friends, is stress. Because it's creating an energy within your body that's releasing these hormones that can ultimately do some not so bueno things if you stay in that place for too long. So listen to some stats. I'm going to read them to make sure I get them right. 75% of adults report experiencing moderate to high levels of stress every single day. 75. This is a global stats, and it was interesting to me, different parts of the country, the stress levels that are different, but we'll save that for another time. Of the 75%, half of those people report that stress has increased in the past year. So I don't know how you're feeling, but take this into your own life. For me, the political climate that's happening right now causes stress for me. I have to really limit my news time because I can get really stressed out just paying attention to what's going on in the world. So what's interestingly happened is much self-help and wellness, things that are out on the market right now, still a half of those 75% of people who are feeling stressed daily say it's increased over this past year. So how are you feeling? Where are you fitting into this category? 1 out of 75% or 1 out of 75 people experience panic disorder. I don't know if you've ever felt that, but again, you can feel that physiologically when you're almost sort of like, it doesn't have to be extreme. Panic disorders can be on a, fairly low key as well, but things begin to happen, which we're going to talk about in a minute, that can give you an idea of whether or not that's happening to you. And then I love this one because I'm always so attached to the medical field. 60 to 80% of primary care doctor visits are related to stress. 60 to 80%. However, only 3% of patients receive stress management help. Okay, so if doctors aren't prescribing stress management help, who is, right? The lessons that I think that we're sharing with you, and my belief from personal experience, is that we can manage it ourselves. We don't need doctors. We need doctors for a lot of things. We need prescriptions for a lot of things. But as it relates to stress, we can manage that ourselves really well. Again, we're so used to being stressed that we don't even know that we are half the time. So what's coming up for you, Adina?
The stats, if we started to manage our own stress, like the infomercial came up in my mind where it's like, if you manage your own stress, you might feel symptoms of relaxation, stress relief, and a happy life.
What? Say it so. Why would I want to feel relaxed? You know which ones come up for me? I'm gonna go on the other side of it. I love that there are so many prescriptions right now for and I'm not, trust me, I am not I'm not judging, I'm not saying they're bad. There are a lot of medications for anxiety, right? Lots and lots of people, because 75% of adults report it, that's what the medical field does. They go, here, have a prescription for Xanax or whatever. Hey, many people need those things. I'm not saying they're not good for you. I'm saying we can address that ourselves. But what I was going to say is, I saw this commercial the other day that said, if you're taking this for anxiety and you're having these side effects, oh, you can take this to go along with your this that will help eliminate the symptoms that you're having because of this. It's like, what the?
Totally.
Another prescription to help the prescription that was supposed to help you in the first place. It's ridiculous. So let's just trust ourselves. And, you know, we talked some time ago about ancient medicines compared to modern medicines. Again, I'm a proponent of modern medicine. I've been there. I have needed it. So I am not saying anything bad about modern medicine. But what I do,
sometimes you need both.
You need both. That we integrate modern and ancient medicine.
Yep.
So let's just talk about, you know, when we're in those high levels of stress, what are some of the things that stress can do to our bodies? Not a scare tactic. What I want you to do is pay attention to when you're feeling some of these things. You can take the stress word out of it if you want to, but when do I notice that my breathing might be getting shallow? I'm not breathing from my diaphragm. Also, my breathing is coming from my chest. You know, start to pay attention to things like that. I'm feeling my shoulders or my neck or my jaw or my back is feeling a little bit of tension or a little bit of pain. My blood pressure has increased. I might be having headaches or tension in my, you know, somewhere in my head. Gastrointestinal discomfort, my stomach, I get a stomach ache. My food's not digesting right. You know, why is my stomach hurting? Your immune system goes low. You can have increased susceptibility to colds or to flus or things like that. So are you getting sick a little bit more often? Can be contributed to high levels of of stress, even skin rashes. You know, amazing how the body shows things up in physically. It's always the key indicator. When your body feels something, pay attention to it. Cold hands and feet, or general feelings of fatigue can be symptoms of stress. You know, another way of looking at it, I love this little picture too that sort of shows, you know, what happens to the systems that are in our body. So we have this thing called our autonomic nervous system, and this works in our body. It's part of the nervous system that's responsible for control of our bodily functions, and not things that we necessarily direct. We don't direct. They take care of themselves. Things like so they're not consciously directed. It's things like breathing. Like we don't consciously tell ourselves to breathe. We don't tell our heart to beat. You know, it does that on its own. The digestive process, we don't tell our food to digest. You know, we may set intentions and things like that. But those are things that happen automatically, right? And the first arm of the autonomic nervous system is what's called the sympathetic nervous system, or you might know this as called fight or flight. It's part of our DNA that came from caveman days when it was a saber-toothed tiger, you know, and you had to run for your life or get eaten by the tiger. That's part of our DNA. We still have that in our bodies today. So when does it come to play? And when our sympathetic nervous system is engaged, these are when these things start to happen. Our blood pressure goes up, our heart rate, our blood sugar, you know, short-term memory goes down, digestive process slows down. And if, I don't know how well you can see the picture on the side, but it also shows other things that happen, things like bladder control. I mean, not things that we always want to talk about, but you get to notice those things and go, what the heck's happening in my body right now? Pupils dilate, your saliva, suddenly you go, you're not, you're not secreting saliva like you would. The reason this happens is because when you're in fight or flight, your body needs all the energy it has to fight. So it has to take that energy from somewhere. So all of these other functions, or some of these other functions, have to stop working, or at least really slow down in a time period in order to do that. An analogy that I learned once was that you can think about your sympathetic nervous system as like the accelerator in your car. Okay, so if you get in your car and you need to go somewhere, the accelerator is the gas pedal, right? So you're going to push on the gas pedal to go. But when you're driving, what happens when you have your foot on the gas the whole time? Adina?
Go, go, go.
Go, 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 right? It's true.
Right.
And if you did have your foot on the gas the whole time you were driving, ultimately you'd probably run into something, right? So not only do you use more gas, but you're going so fast and so furious that you are going to run into something. There have to be times of balance and break. So let's go into the second one, which is the opposite. It's called parasympathetic nervous system. So this is the other arm of that autonomic nervous system. This is called the relaxation response. Okay, so when you're in the fight or flight mode, you need to balance it somehow with this relaxation response. So you can do things like, breathe, take a nap, anything that helps you to sort of like calm down a little bit. Because what happens when your body goes into the relaxation response, that's like putting the brake on in the car. So that's when you're slowing down a little bit. And that's the way we drive. That's the way we get places. We put on the gas, we put on the brake. We put on the gas, we put on the brake. And that's the balance at the dance, right, of living day to day. All I'm doing is taking that idea, that context that we understand, and helping to understand what's really physiologically happening in the body. So you can see all those things that we talked about that increase when you're in sympathetic, they now decrease when you're in parasympathetic. So your blood pressure goes down, your heart rate goes down, your blood sugar goes down, your bile secretions go up, which that's your digestive system. So now you can begin to process the food that you ate. The saliva, begins to, replenish itself. So you're not all dry mouthed anymore. And then those hormones, the adrenaline and the cortisol and things like that, they begin to like decrease themselves as well, so that your body goes into a bit more natural state. Cool stuff, huh?
Yeah. Now that we know a little bit more about what these stress levels can do for us and then how to manage them, what we're going to do is we're going to share our first set of tools to choose from to help you balance out what it is that you need to do on a daily basis or a momentary basis to keep yourself in either where you need it, fight or flight, or where you need that relaxation response.
Awesome, Adina. So let's do the first exercise, which is an energy awareness body scan. And I see that I have Shutterstock on my photo. I guess I didn't buy this one. Anyway, the picture's awesome because it shows your energy body. And, we're going to talk about a little bit about how we can begin to pay. We're always talking about paying attention, but pay attention in this technique to what the energy is doing in our bodies and how it's showing up physically, right? Since we're talking about body. So we're going to do a quick little energy awareness scan. You can do this for as short a time or as long a time as you have. But what I'd love for you to do is just get into the practice of stopping when you feel something in your body and doing a little bit of a scan, find out where that's at, and then do something to to help release some of the tension or things that are in that area. So if you're sitting down right now, just make yourself comfortable. If you're laying, standing, whatever you're doing, just get yourself into a comfortable position. And if you're comfortable to close your eyes, I find that helpful for myself to go inside. If it's comfortable for you, go ahead and close your eyes. If not, it doesn't matter. It'll work anyway. But I want you to just start taking some deep breaths, breathing in, breathing out, just creating a nice rhythm of breath, breathing into the count of 5 and breathing out to the count of 5. Breathing into the count of 5 and breathing out to the count of 5. And just remembering that what the idea, the intention for this is to create a rhythm of breathing right now. If 5 isn't comfortable for you, 3 is okay, whatever feels right, just create your rhythm of breathing and just continue to breathe in and out. And then we'll begin a body scan. So you're really just gonna, with your eyes closed and with your breathing rhythm in place, you're just gonna start to look at all the areas within your body. So let's just start at the top of your head, start in the crown area, go inside, and start to pay attention to what you might be feeling in your head, in your crown area, behind your eyes. Are your eyes feeling tired? Is there any tension or stress behind your eyes? In your sinuses, moving down, and is there any tension or tightness around the ear area? Maybe in your jaw? And just breathing in and breathing out. And if you notice any tension in any area specific, I want you to just, as you're breathing in, envision light into that area, breathing in light and warmth. And then exhaling any tension or tightness or discomfort that might be in any of those areas. And we'll just continue to scan through the body. So now moving your attention down to your throat area, to the back of your neck. Are you feeling any tightness, any tension? Breathing in, light and warmth, and breathing out. And just continuing down your body, we're going to move left and right, your left shoulder and your right shoulder, the base of your, or the top of your spine, the base of your neck. Breathing in, light and warmth. Breathing out, any tension or tightness. And then just moving down your arms, left and right. Breathing in light, breathing in warmth, and exhaling any tightness or tension that you might feel in your shoulders or your biceps, your forearms, or your wrists, maybe in your fingers, your hands. Maybe just wiggle your hands a little bit, opening up any tightness or tension that you might feel, continuing your rhythm of breathing. Breathing in light and warmth into that area, opening and closing your fingers, stretching, releasing any tension. And then just move back up to the top of your torso and focus on that chest area between your shoulders, above your heart area. This is an area that oftentimes we feel our shoulders are hunched slightly forward, but just opening that area up, expanding that area in the top of your chest, feeling any tightness or tension that might be in that area, continuing to breathe in, warmth and light, and just exhaling any tension or tightness. And then moving down to your heart area, to the center of your chest, breathing in light and warmth, exhaling any tightness or tension. Oftentimes, even though we're focusing on the physical body right now, you might feel an emotional release in this area when you give it a little bit of attention. Breathing into your heart area, breathe into the count of 5, and breathe out to the count of 5. And then just slowly move your attention down below your chest area to your solar plexus area, just above your belly button. This is an area, there's a lot of activity going on inside. Your digestive process, your bladder, your kidneys, all these things begin to function in this area. Just breathing in light. Do you feel any tightness or any tension? Breathing in light and warmth, and just exhaling any tension that you might feel. And continuing down to the sacral area below your belly button. This is an area where your creativity sparks. This is where your reproductive organs are. So this is an area of birth, not just physical, but also ideas and things. So are you feeling any tension in this creative area, any tightness? Just breathing in light and warmth. And breathing out any tightness or tension. And just continuing to move your attention down your body to your hip area, left and right, the base of your spine, feeling any tightness or tension in your hips, your pelvic area, breathing in light and warmth, and just exhaling any tension, and just continuing to move down your thighs, front and back, left and right. Is there any tension in that area? Breathing in light and warmth, and just exhaling any tension in that area. Continuing to move down to your knees, to your calves, and to your shins. Paying attention to any tightness or tension or stiffness or discomfort in any of those areas. Moving down to your ankles and your feet, which is where your grounding happens. Maybe just if you're not standing, you can circle your ankles left and right, just releasing any tension in those areas. Wiggle your toes left and right, lift your toes up, let them back down, wiggle them separately, just moving any tension in and out of those areas, and continuing to breathe, breathing in light and warmth, and breathing out any tension or discomfort. And when you're ready, you can go ahead and open your eyes and just pay attention to sort of how does your body feel now compared to how it might have felt before you started this body scan. How are you feeling, Adina?
Relaxed. Completely relaxed. It was awesome.
Anything come up for you?
It's just really interesting how when you're breathing in that light and warmth, how you can help it manage where you're at. It keeps your focus on your body when you're focusing on where you're bringing in that light. And then if there were any areas of tension, how that taking that tension and breathing it out really does help you eliminate. And then that next breath, allowing it to like sit within that love and warmth again, or that light and warmth again.
Yeah.
It's just really relaxing. It allows you to come into yourself and come into your body, and creates that awareness that we're looking for, right?
Yeah, it's awesome. And again, you can practice this anytime, any place, for as long a time as you have. And even if you want to just focus on one area within the body, if you're doing something, you feel a tightness in your shoulder, it doesn't have to be an entire body scan. You can go into that shoulder, breathe in light and warmth, and exhale any tension that you have. So good, easy practice that you can do anytime, anywhere. Good?
Yeah, it was awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. You want to do another one?
Yeah.
So this is something that HeartMath calls heart-focused breathing. I got to try and find the right place for our little picture right now. Oh, that's nice. So heart-focused breathing is a technique, designed from the HeartMath organization, and it's another tool for self-regulation, a way for us to be able to shift from a higher state of either stress or what HeartMath calls incoherence, which is when our rhythms are a little bit off, to a place of more coherence. And it literally shifts back to the lesson in autonomic nervous system. It very, very, very quickly shifts from a sympathetic state into a parasympathetic state. So what heart-focused breathing does is it aligns your heart, mind, and emotions very quickly. It enhances your reaction time and strategic thinking. So really easy and quick to do for certain circumstances, situations. And it literally coordinates our systems within our body, our immune system, our hormonal system, our nervous system, so that everything is really balanced and, functioning at a really coherent state. So you ready to learn a little heart-focused breathing, Adina?
Yeah.
Here we go. So again, just, make yourself comfortable in whatever position you're at, sitting, standing, laying down. If you're comfortable to close your eyes, again, I just want you to close your eyes and just, again, begin to take some deep breaths and try to create yourself a rhythm, breathing into the count of 5 and breathing out to the count of 5, or whatever's comfortable for you. The idea is that you're breathing a little slower and a little deeper than normal or than usual. So breathing in for 5 seconds, And breathing out for 5 seconds. Whatever rhythm is comfortable. Breathing into the count of 5, and out to the count of 5. And as with life, sometimes distractions come in, right? Noises, outside things, speaking. If we can learn to do this technique when there is commotion going on outside, then you got this thing mastered. You can do it anywhere, anytime. Just breathing into the count of 5 and breathing out to the count of 5, or whatever rhythm is comfortable for you. And as you're breathing in, I want you to focus on your heart area, in your chest area. So you're breathing in through your heart, breathing out through your heart, creating this rhythm. And the next thing I want you to do is just to make a sincere attempt to create a regenerative feeling, a feeling that makes you happy, a feeling of love, a feeling of appreciation, a feeling of care for others or for someone. So it might be, for you, it could be a feeling that you have for somebody that you love. It could be a pet, could be a child, it could be a special place like a vacation spot. It might even be an accomplishment that you made, something that you're really proud of. But it's just a focus of feeling, even on calm and peace, but something that just makes you smile and makes you feel really good. So as you're continuing to breathe in through your heart and out through your heart, focus on this image, focus on this feeling. And you're just breathing into the count of 5 and breathing out to the count of 5. Focused on this feeling. And you're beginning to feel a little bit of a shift in your body right now, even though we just came out of a body scan, which already put us into a nice natural state. This technique can really help to bring you into a feeling of peace and relaxation. So whenever you're ready, you can just open your eyes and come back into the room. And that took us only a couple of minutes. You can do this for as short a period of time or as long a period of time as you have. It's a great technique to set you up for transitioning from one place to the next on your way home from work. When you go from work to home, do some heart-focused breathing and get yourself into a place where you're ready to leave all that stuff where it was and come into home and be with your family, to be present where you are right now. How are you feeling, Adina?
I'm feeling love for the gardener.
Is that who your image was?
Yeah, no, but just like you said, I am able to just tune something like that out and come into the space. And as I do that heart-focused breathing and keep that energy settled into my heart, it actually creates a what feels like an expansion of my heart, where it feels bigger, more robust, more abundant, to not only be able to provide that loving experience for whoever I'm about to encounter, but be able to take on that loving experience from whoever or whatever I'm about to encounter. It feels really good.
That was awesome. That couldn't have been a better recap. I think that really just put a little bow around it, because if you think about, the opposite of that, if you don't do something like this before you transition into home, have you ever had a day at work where you just left with stuff, right? And you brought that stuff home with you. Next thing you know, you're snapping at somebody at home, you're saying something that you regret, and then you're like, what the, because it had nothing to do with them. So this is a really great way to recompose or to readjust yourself, transitioning from one place to another. Oftentimes when I'm teaching this technique for salon leaders who manage people in the salon, and maybe they coach stylists, or they have apprentices, or they do reviews or things like that, and find themselves in a place where they have to have a conversation that there might not be so much looking forward to it. Doing some heart-focused breathing before you go into that space can really set you up for not only the reasons that we talked about physiologically, but for what you just said, Adina, because it opens up your heart and it helps you to be more compassionate and to be more forgiving and to be more understanding, so that a situation that potentially could have been uncomfortable can now be a situation where there's a collaboration and an understanding and a really awesome outcome. So cool.
Awesome.
Well, I think those were our two awesome techniques for today. You want to do a little recap on, kind of what we talked about today, Adina?
It's just, we'll always go back to just really paying attention. And what we shared with you today is just managing our stress levels, not necessarily stress being a bad thing, but just knowing where we sit and how it affects us in the physical body. As long as we can be aware, we can then go in and use these techniques that we've shared with you today, which is the body scan, so that you can know where that is sitting within your body and help to eliminate it on a given moment. The next one would be is that heart focused breathing, to be able to go from situation to situation in just a matter of moments, so that you can show up the way that you would like to show up for every person that you're encountering. And it just does take just a few minutes to be able to, recognize, manage, and have these tools for you to implement into your daily practices, momentary practices, so that you can get the balance of body, mind, and spirit.
Awesome. And these are, just a couple of ways that we can, honor our bodies. And I love this little quote, just to kind of put a bow around things, that if you don't take care of your body, where are you going to live?
So good. We take these moments with you guys. We thank you for watching. We want you to stay engaged with us. Make sure that you like the video, that you comment on the video, ask any questions about the video, because we are here for you. We're doing this for you guys as a community, to become more conscious of ourselves and how we show up, to create more balance in our lives. And so just make sure that you're sharing with us and asking the questions that you might want to ask, maybe your feedback or anything that you might think that we could use in a future video, right?
Yeah, we'd love to hear from you. And you know what, pass these things on to anybody else that you think they might be beneficial to as well. Direct everybody to the Peace.Love.Balance YouTube channel, where you can find all of our videos. And we'll talk to you again next week. But until then, we do wish you peace, love, and balance.
Thank you.
Talk soon. Thank you, Adina.